Well, there's an awful amount of money involved in a judgment that is expected. First of all, we have to talk about a recusal application in the International Pentecostal Holiness Church trial. There's two issues on the go here. Here's the first one. Two of the factions, we'll talk about the factions now, two of them want the judge to recuse herself. Now, here's the problem before the court. Three brothers are battling for leadership as well as the inheritance of the church leader. That church, we understand, valued at around 400 million rand. So there's a lot to play for here. Let's head over to senior reporter Silindelo Masikane, who's been following this for us. And today is the day, but I imagine, Slee, if I have this correct, that the first issue to be dealt with is the issue of recusal. Good morning.
Morning, Gareth. Yes, we're back outside the North Gauteng High Court, where we are expecting court proceedings to resume at around 10 a.m. this morning. And as you've said, essentially, this is a trial that is about 7 years in the making. This trial was supposed to begin about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, should I say, around the 13th of February. You would remember those visuals just outside the court precinct, where we had at least close to 10,000 members of the IPHC church, and this was of the one faction, in fact, of this particular church. Now, we speak of the factions because we have a leadership battle that is ensuing here in the court, where we've got three brothers who all believe that they should be leading the church following the death of their father back in 2016. We've got Michael Sandlana, who essentially leads the biggest faction of this mega church. That's the Jerusalem IPHC. We also have two Modise brothers who also lead their own factions, one in Zirpacom, led by Frederick Modise, and another one by Tshepiso Modise. Now, we were expecting the trial to begin on that date of the 13th of February, but there were some technical issues that had to be ironed out in terms of the media having a presence in court. And then once that was sorted out, the lawyers representing the two brothers, that is Frederick as well as Tshepiso Modise, filed applications based on a technicality. Now, the judge who's presiding over this trial, or who's supposed to preside over this trial, was also the case manager of this particular matter before it went to trial. And what the two lawyers were saying was that the parties involved in this case did not write down or sign off consent in terms of the case manager of the matter to actually preside over this trial. So it's based on a technicality, and this appeal application, we understand, was heard over the past couple of days, meaning essentially this trial has not begun. So today what we're expecting is that there's going to be a judgment with regards to the appeal application, because essentially the judge had dismissed the initial application by the two lawyers for her recusal, essentially, and the lawyers then put in another application to appeal it. Those arguments have been heard, and now we are expecting judgment today on that particular application. We know that in terms of that application, the appeal application in particular, if it is granted, that means that there's going to be yet another delay in this particular trial. We know that it was set down for 3 weeks as of the 13th of February. Already we've got about 2 weeks that have taken place where the trial has not even commenced. We're still dealing with external, or should I say, issues on the fringes. And so at 10 a.m. this morning, we will expect that judgment from Judge Patlana in terms of whether she will remove herself from the case or whether she's going to once again dismiss that appeal application. We We have also heard suggestions that if this appeal application is dismissed, then the lawyers representing Frederick and Tshepiso Modise plan on taking the matter on review to the SCA, that's the Supreme Court of Appeal, meaning that the trial will be delayed once more. So we anticipate court proceedings to start at 10 a.m. and if that application is then dismissed, then we will see exactly what will happen moving forward. But at this point, it is still quite early. We were expecting perhaps some of the church members to make their way outside court. We'll see if that happens a little later on.